Welcome back. You just heard two songs from Perimeter's latest EP called What Lies Ahead. Those two songs were Perfect Disaster and Sleepwalker. Now I'm joined by two of the members of the band. They came in here multiple times before, but since it's their newest record release and we didn't get to talk about that yet, well, I decided to bring them in again. How about you guys introduce yourselves and tell us a bit about the band for people who may not know you. You guys know the drill.
Hi, so I'm Shane Harris, and I'm the guitarist of Perimeter, and I also do a little bit of the backup vocals.
Hi, my name is Justin. I play guitar and I scream in the band.
Alright, so let's start out with your guys' top releases of the year, because we're in November, actually.
Yeah.
Almost at the end of the year. So what have you been listening to the most, and what do you think, what album should get album of the year?
So it's funny because this album came out so recently, but the Silver Scream by Ice Nine Kills.
Oh boy. Boy.
Yo, so it was Halloween yesterday. This whole album it's that concept sort. I mean, it's that horror
every
concept.
song's a different horror movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's so cool. The music videos are so amazing. They're so well produced. Every song has incredible production in it. The songwriting's amazing. It seems like everyone worked to the best of their ability. I think they had like the same producer too as Crown the Empire for this one. So it just came out amazing for me.
What would you say is your favorite from that record?
A Grave Mistake.
A Grave Mistake.
So
I would go
beautiful.
with It Is the End, because it and Georgie being the main part of the song, which is really
That's a
funny.
great song.
And they have Less Than Jake on it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they have. That's crazy. They literally got a reggae artist.
Yeah.
on that.
So that's amazing. So, what's your favorite release of the year?
Well, I've been listening to like a lot of rap, so I mean like. Yeah,
All right, let me just start with this. Eminem or MGK for the rap test?
Eminem.
Oh man.
Eminem. I mean like just like. Also, like, just the history behind Eminem, like, just destroys MGK. But, like, besides that, I've been listening to, like, a lot of Ghostmane. Like, his new album, like, Noise, just released. It's, like, the perfect, like, Halloween vibe, I feel like, but that's just me.
Alright, so I'm guessing because you two are college students, and you must be gamers, so I'm going to ask you, Are you an Xbox user or a PlayStation user? Which is better?
Alright, so recently, with the release of Spider-Man, I mean, it sucks. I'm an Xbox user, but that game, I play it at my friend's house, and I really want to get a PlayStation now, but it's just a little bit too much money for me.
Yeah.
I'd rather just play all the night. I mean, they have Red Dead now, so I'm okay.
So everyone's going to be playing that.
I'm satisfied now. What about you, Justin?
Neither. The only thing I had was probably like an Xbox 360 when I was in like 6th grade.
Solid choice.
No, other than that, I mean, I play PC, but I've been playing like the same game for like 15 years, and that's like Counter-Strike, and I still play it.
Okay, that's fair enough.
We did do quick scope, no scopes though on Xbox. I remember middle school.
MW2?
So, yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Classic Modern Warfare.
All right, so I'm going to just say I kind of stole this idea. I wanted to try this out on this show. You guys ever watch Hot Ones on YouTube? No. It's pretty much like an interview show, but the main gist of it is that the celebrities and whoever they bring on has to eat hot wings during the whole time. So, like, each question, the hot wings get hotter and hotter until they get to a pepper X, which is, like, hotter than, like, the scorpion pepper. So they gotta, like, answer all these questions
it's so
with
stressful.
their mouths on fire. They had, like, really cool people on there. They had, like, Post Malone and so many different, like, range of celebrities on there. I think they had Neil deGrasse Tyson, too, on there. It was really cool.
Awesome.
You should definitely check it out. But they do this little segment called, they check the person's Instagram and they bring up a photo and they get a little bit more context. So I'm on your Facebook.
Justin has nothing. I got everything.
And you guys posted a recent picture. He's not in it. It's just you and Mark, and it's this picture here from 5 years ago. So how about you give us a little context about that?
All right, so this is actually at most of our hometown besides for Mark. Mark lives in Smithtown, but he moved now, but he was originally from Smithtown. This is St. James Day, so this is our town day. And we played this in high school. You can look at me right now, the cringy, I got my Nike shirt, it says Just Run. I got my Avenged Sevenfold Sinister Gates guitar, my nice And One shorts, and the nice Nike neon green shoes. And then you got Devin with his Beatles haircut, his maroon bass, he still plays it, very nice. And Frankie, funny enough, pretty similar to how he is now. He still dresses almost the same as he does in this. But he's the drummer, so he's gotta be comfortable on stage. But so it was raining in this photo too. You wouldn't be able to tell. Oh yeah, my strings got so rusty. But really cringy. We played a lot of covers. I'm not gonna mention who. This isn't with our lineup now, current lineup. But the other people, it was just such a funny experience. I think it was we played the show, and then Frank's dad, he owns this restaurant called Villa Sorrento. We just went over there, ate some Italian food. Classic 11th grade, I think. Classic 11th grade vibes.
High school band moments.
Oh yeah, when you're just cringy and you're just you're going through, oh my god, my girlfriend broke up with me.
Oh boy. All right, so let's start talking about your guys' music. And before I get to the new record, I noticed that you pulled the Shattered EP from your Bandcamp and Spotify. Was that because you just wanted to kind of move forward from that, or is there any other particular reason?
So, and both I and Justin can say this because everyone was so mixed on that EP. Justin technically didn't do anything on that EP.
I didn't play a single note on that EP because the songs were written prior, before Perimeter was even.
Yeah, that was when we were named The Bottom Line. That was also, you remember that. But that was also when we were in high school. I would consider that EP more like a demo than an EP. So maybe in the future we'll have it up for more diehard fans, but at the moment I just don't feel as though it represents who we are currently. And even I'm not ashamed of it. It's just that I would rather show people what we can do best.
So, alright, so you guys released a new EP last month. It's called What Lies Ahead. So, let's begin with the album art. You guys had a lighthouse representing the album. So, what's your interpretation of it?
Alright, so I'm actually pulling up because I had to ask my... Because I actually didn't come up with the initial design or what it represents, but my drummer and my singer really know the true interpretation. What they told me, so this is what Mark says, this is quoting Mark right here, that it represents outreaching to our new genres, and I can definitely vouch for that, because we really wanted to push all the genre boundaries that we can. If you can tell, Justin even said he's listening to rap, and that there's a little bit of that even in there, but to expand upon the metalcore genre, and it's basically just a symbol of the new direction of metal. If you've heard again, I'm gonna bring up Ice Nine Kills because they did it perfectly. That sounds nothing like
anything else,
anything out there. And so our goal was essentially to do something like that, where we're just being original, bringing new things to the genre, just because recently I feel metalcore and gent and deathcore has been very stale. There hasn't been any no one's reaching out to try something new and do something that hasn't been done before. So we're trying to do that. We tried to do that at least.
I feel a couple bands though in deathcore and death metal have at least kind of brought the genre out a bit recently.
Very recently.
Definitely Shadow of Intent, Enterpriser, those bands. Definitely listen to them if you never checked out their stuff, because they're really progressive and the guitars on those records are phenomenal. So on this record, you actually worked with Joel
Wanasek, yeah.
Wanasek. And he worked with Monuments, very progressive metal band out of Europe, I think.
love them. Yeah, they're
pretty dope.
they're from, I think they're British or United. They're from the United Kingdom. I only know them because of John Brown, who's the guitarist. He's insanely good. He's such a great guitar player, so different, so unique than any other person I've ever heard before.
So did you kind of learn anything from him working on this record?
From Joel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
working with him, he tore us apart. But in a good way. I think, like, working with him kind of helped, like, build up our band, right, Justin?
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure. Like, honestly, criticisms are beneficial.
Constructive, all constructive,
Yeah.
but, like, I'll give you a small example. So, like, I would bring an idea to him, and we'd bring a revision, and he's a creative mixer. So, like, for people that don't understand what I'm talking about, he's almost like another songwriter in the band with how well he mixes. So he can change the whole tone of the album based off of how you want it to be or how he wants it to be. And so, like, I had one song where I had a certain direction for it, and, like, in my head, because I do most of the sound production for our band, and I gave him the revisions. He sent it back. It sounded completely different. I didn't even expect this. I was like, what the hell? But it was great because I would have never have thought about that. He sent us the first mix, like, of The Mediator.
Oh, yeah.
So that's our heaviest song on the EP, and he made that thing smash so hard. There was a bass drop in that was so loud, and I was like, I had goosebumps listening to it. So, and so that's like what we wanted from our mixer, from our producer, and so he was able to do that, and I'm hoping that since I was getting goosebumps, that maybe the listeners could feel the same way. That was like the whole point. He got our message across perfectly.
To kind of go off with kind of, like feeling those goosebumps, I got like great quote from Tyler Smith in Danger Kids. When I talked to him, he was saying the same thing about Blacklist and creating like the songs on that record, and how like it was kind of like the first time it gave him goosebumps. You should make music that gives you goosebumps.
Yeah, you should feel like dopamine, you know?
Oh yeah, like make sure the music you listen to releases dopamine so you feel better.
Yeah, that's the whole point. You know, you're not listening to music to feel bad about yourself. You want to
Just
get hyped.
Just release dopamine.
Just feel good.
So I kind of noticed it. I hope you guys kind of noticed it too. But from like the Shattered EP and this EP, did you see kind of the improvement in your craft, your instrument, your voice?
Yes.
Because especially with you with the solos, or just writing a regular riff, or Mark with his vocals, because it really you can hear the difference.
Yeah, I think there's like a huge gap between Shattered and What Lies Ahead, like in that aspect where like in What Lies Ahead pretty much everything has been like turned to the max. Like we all like pretty much put in like max effort for each of our instruments. Like even for Mark, like he has some powerful vocals like on that EP.
We wouldn't accept anything but the best takes. So like there would be points in sessions where Mark would be singing and he would be doing 100 takes of like one line, just because we're like, we can't accept it. If it's okay, if it's mediocre, we don't want to rely on tuning. We don't want to rely on, the mixer, the producer will handle this, or it will be edited. We wanted to get it as raw and as perfect on the from the source originally, so that it just sounded like sparkly. I don't know how to describe it. And then same with like the guitars, the bass, the drums. We just like, I could say for Justin and I, we pushed ourselves to the limit with playing these songs. I would get to the point where there would be such an impossible part to play. I'd write it down and I'd practice it for hours, or Justin would practice it.
Our music is like really difficult. It was even difficult. Like it's like obviously hard like making it. It took a while.
Especially before like, because we didn't even know, because we'd write the parts and then we'd be like, okay, let's try to learn it.
It's like, oh, this is pretty difficult.
Yeah.
So, what are your favorite aspects of this record, or maybe some small production details that people may miss on the first listen through?
So it's funny enough because Joel is also the person that helped us. Like, he told me immediately we didn't have enough production on the EP, so I went ahead and I got a synthesizer plug-in. I got some samples. We added bass drops, reverse cymbals, all that, and so there's certain songs that you have to listen to through headphones to hear these production elements. But, like, for example, in The Mediator, I mentioned this. There's a bass drop right in the beginning of that song. If you play it through a phone, you're not going to hear a bass drop. But if you listen to it through headphones, you get a completely different experience. It's like, it's liberating. You listen to it, and then even in that song, too, you wouldn't believe this, I added harps. I added... there was like an orchestral part, some choir, there's some a harpsichord or something, like some ancient thing, and then Devin outdid himself. So Devin, for all you guys that don't know here, that he plays cello at UNC Chapel Hill. He's very good. He impresses me. I'm not saying that because he's my band member. He's always been good since I could remember, like, before our band. And so he got to actually use this finally in metal. We used the cello and metal, just kind of like apocalyptica now. But we, in Can You Hear Me, one of our songs, almost every single small production element you hear, the cellos, the whole orchestral part, the timpanis, like everything, were recorded from us. We didn't use fake. We used real cellos, real, like, everything, every single small element. And that's what I think makes, like, a lot of our production better, because we used the real thing. We didn't use fake samples.
I mean, yeah, especially for Can You Hear Me? I feel like if you, like, you can listen to that song a million times and you just hear something different in the background. It's like there's a lot of, like, subtle things.
There were 100 layers in that song. There were 100 different tracks.
But it's nice. It's very nice.
That would have been a nightmare going through them.
But we had Joel, so he was, luckily, that's the other thing I was going to say. Joel, we're lucky we were working with him because he was able to handle it. He's worked with bigger projects, so...
Yeah, I can imagine, especially those UK progressive metal bands. I can't imagine how many layers that they have in their songs.
He has monuments. I know John Brown from watching a YouTube video. 8 guitars per side, so 16 guitars, and that's just the distorted guitars.
All right, so one of my favorite parts of the record was on the song Perfect Disaster, and it was kind of the ending part with the guitar tapping breakdown. So what was the process in making, and after you guys go into detail about that, how about you share your favorite parts of the record?
Right, so I'm going to go in from my experience because I remember when that part was starting to be written. So I came into practice and we were working on that whole breakdown section. And I come to practice, and Justin and Devin worked out this crazy breakdown. It's the rhythm part behind that tapping part. And it was so heavy already. And it was like, I was like, like, all right, like, maybe, okay, I'm going to try something. So I tried, like, working out a tapping part. And then it sounded pretty good, but then we added another layer. So then Justin and I are harmonizing on that. And that was really cool because now, like, me and him are doing the dual guitar stuff. Yay, Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah, it's really cool also because a lot of the other bands in, like, our music genre, they use synths. And we pretty much replaced, like, the synths with, like, a guitar, like a real guitars.
And then I took it a step further, like, in irony. So I layered that with a video game style, like 8-bit style synth sample underneath the guitars, not ahead of the guitars. Okay. I didn't want it louder. I just wanted a little bit of that, like, 8-bit sound, because during that section, the section right before, and I was even mentioning to you this earlier, it almost sounds like a boss battle. It almost sounds like a video game boss battle. So I was like, we need the video game element. We need to just make the point clear. This is a boss battle. And it's like a breakdown, though, at the same time. So I feel like it's cool because we can capture, like, other audiences and, like, people will understand what we were trying to do. You listen to that and you're like, wow, this is
it's definitely catchy.
So what are your 2 favorite parts of the record?
What'd
you say?
my favorite part of the record. All right, so yeah, we have this song called "The Mediator." It's our heaviest one. The ending of "The Mediator" with just like the whole like last section of that song, just with the breakdowns, and then we have like this really cool.
It's like a machine gun breakdown.
Like a machine gun breakdown, but like a really nice like Egyptian style lead guitars. Like we recorded with an acoustic guitar. Well, Shane did. That's my favorite part. It's like, yeah, it has a lot of production elements too. So
yeah, it almost like
it just sounds like a bomb.
Definitely, and I'll say this for sure. Like that part was so inspired by Born of Osiris because they always do the Egyptian-y style vibe, and I wanted to add that into one of it. That's like a band I love, and Justin loves that band
like my favorite
too.
Band.
So like we just added that in.
I don't know. There's always something about the Egyptian type breakdown.
So cool.
It's so cool every single time. Like it never gets old.
So my favorite part though is so to start off, I wrote Sleepwalker, like a lot of Sleepwalker, and that's how we actually started the EP. Like that was the first song to be written on the EP. Same with the intro track, and I just love the second verse of that song because Mark's vocals shine so much, and then we have we tried doing something different. So we did a breakdown for the rhythm guitars and for the drums, but then we added a lead guitar part over it. We thought it was going to be a breakdown, but then Mark started creating this unique vocal part, and we're like, you know what? We're making this a verse. We're making a breakdown.
It's a really weird verse,
but like
really cool.
Everyone that listens to the song tells me that's their favorite part, and like I'm so satisfied because we took a risk there. We're like, all right, breakdown as a verse, like this is gonna be weird, but it ended up working, so I'm kind of happy about that.
All right, well, we kind of running out of time. How about you guys just share where people can keep up to date with you guys and find your music?
All social media.
Pretty much everything.
Social media.
Instagram, we're Perimeter Official. Facebook, we're Perimeter. YouTube, we're Perimeter Official. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, all the major music platforms. Anything helps. We're actually even I'll give a shout out to us. So we're selling like t-shirts. They're actually of the they have the album artwork on them, and one of my really good friends that goes to this college, Alina, did modeling for it. I can thank her. It looks so nice, like so photogenic. And but one of my really good friends, Spencer, also took photos for that, so I got to thank them. So yeah, that's our merch. We might have CDs soon too, so stay
up to date. Yeah. So everyone, stay tuned for the rest of the show. Hello, welcome. You're listening to WUSB Stony Brook. Again, you just heard some songs off of Challenger D by More of Myself to Kill. I also just played their latest single, Patient Zero. I believe that's going to be on their upcoming record coming out soon. But anyway, I'm joined by all the members right now, all four. How about you guys introduce yourselves and tell us a quick bio of the band, the history, so people who don't know you get to know you.
We started in my basement, like 2013?
Started from the basement.
I'm Joe, by the way. Can't see my face, but started in my basement. My mom let us practice every Friday.
Yeah. I'm Kyle. I'm the guitarist. We've been playing together for a few years now. Good friends, just jamming originally, and then
good friends.
Just keep going.
I'm Connor. I do the bass stuff, that low end. That's me. Yeah, we've been playing for some time, and I don't know. It's been a wild ride, and the new album's gonna be crazy.
My name is Jake. I'm the vocalist. Basically, I joined the band after all these guys, so I'm very lucky that they have me. But I'm very, passionate about this new album. It's going to be very different.
So, how did you guys all meet and come together to form this project?
Oh, the arrows. So me and Kyle met in college, but I knew Jake and Joe in high school. And I met Joe through a mutual friend.
Your brothers?
No,
No?
through Jesse.
Jesse, yeah, that's
yeah.
right.
So me and Jesse jammed with
Shout
Joe
out
one
Jesse.
day, and then a couple years later, I went back to jam with Joe, And then I was like, oh, there's this kid that I know from college that should come jam with us. And then we were a band.
Originally, Kyle wanted to start a what was it? Katy Perry cover band.
Right.
Yeah, I still have the
Katy
picture
Perry cover band.
screenshot on my Instagram. Yo, dude, let's play.
I mean, you
Katy
guys
Perry.
can still do it. I mean,
Yeah,
you could
there's
just
still
stop.
don't worry about the new record. Just
That's it.
full
Katy Perry
Katy
always.
Perry.
Shout out Katy Perry.
All right, so how about let's start this interview by giving your guys' opinions on records that are ruined for you, either a song, an artist, or even an album.
Okay. Mothership by Dance Gavin Dance. I love that album. And then my friend JJ Romano decided to play it 24/7 every time we hung out. And I cannot stand Tillion's voice anymore. And I don't know. They're a cool band, but just I don't know. It's like I listened to it
That
like
one
40
hurts.
times nonstop. It was. I'm not into it anymore. So.
I feel that way about Circus Survives on Letting Go. I listened to that album way too many times, and now I just can't listen to it anymore.
Yeah, but you're wrong. So.
It's a great album.
It's a great
It
album.
really is a great album. It's amazing.
How about for you guys?
I don't know that I've ever had an album
Really?
ruined for me.
Any song? I mean, it could be like.
No, I don't
Despacito,
know.
It could be All
I
Star.
don't. I mean, I tend to avoid songs I don't like. So
Smart question. Smart answer.
Very yeah.
My number one song that I literally turn the radio off every single time is Enter Sandman by Metallica.
oh, that is a good one.
I have
That
to
is a
teach
good
I
one.
taught that to like 4 different kids like in the past year, and it's just
Can't do it.
I don't want to do it anymore.
Oh boy. So, all right. So your first album, Challenger Deep, is a concept record. So I want your guys' opinion. What is your favorite concept record from an artist?
Parallax 2, Between the Bear and Me. Well, the whole Parallax.
Whole Parallax
series,
concept
the,
is
the album and the EP.
fantastic.
The production on Parallax 1 is so good. Shout out Jamie King.
I would have to say my favorite album, concept album-wise, is Act 2 by the Deer Hunter, but I love all the Act albums. They're
Yeah,
just
we talked
perfect.
about this a lot.
They're just perfect.
I agree with Joe, so I'm just gonna let Jake talk. I love the Parallax. That's like
I don't know. For me, I still like Coma Clinic a bit more.
Coma's
I don't know,
great. I just all of the Parallax was so like opening to me that I was just like, this is incredible.
That album got me into
Yeah.
prog.
So, so, like, even looking on your Facebook, you have your influence as Between the Buried and Me. So, when did you start listening to them, and what elements do you take from their music and try to put it in your own?
Jake can start.
Well, basically, I was brought into this band as a no-name, no musical talent whatsoever kind of person, and they introduced me to a lot of new stuff, and a lot of it, I'll be straight up, I don't necessarily like too much, but I enjoy what we do because it's different. I don't hear it every single day, and I do appreciate Between the Buried and Me and all this, super progressive stuff that they listen to, but some of it's just not for me, and they give me so much, crap about it, and I'm just like, I don't know, it's hard.
So, when did you start your, like, musical journey into the scene and getting yourself involved?
So, the first time I ever went to a local show was for this man right here, and it was Skepsis.
Shout out
Skepsis.
Shout out Jimmy Jackson.
He basically brought me into the scene, and then I realized that, like, this is what I need to do. I need to be on stage, and, and then he gave me a guest vocal spot for my birthday, and that was it. That was where it started.
So, in that time, have you tried to, like, learn different techniques, or did you try it was just by yourself and just try to learn as you go?
Everything that I do now is self-taught, except for, the common watching videos and stuff like that. But, I mean, like, Connor showed me some vocal warm-ups and stuff like that because, he can scream too and stuff. So, it really helps having these prodigies in my band.
All right, so let's talk about shows. You guys played a whole bunch in the last year. So, what was your favorite place that you played?
Summer Slaughter.
SummerSlam.
Absolutely.
SummerSlam.
But that was
That was a great
last
show.
year.
That was
so,
last
like,
year.
This year,
I feel like we haven't played
we have
like a crazy amount of shows this year because we've been working so hard on the album.
Within the Rooms was pretty cool.
That was That was a good one. That was a
what
pretty
What was
late
the other
show.
one?
That's always the Slaughterfest with.
It was at Revolution.
Candiria. 420.
Oh, yeah.
That was Candiria, Give Up the Goods, us.
That was a good show.
Who else played?
They killed it.
It was like 7 bands? 3 more bands? I don't know.
All right. So anyway, last year you guys released a song called "Patient Zero." So how about you give us kind of like a background story to that song?
All right. So for Patient Zero, we had a lot of different ideas kicking around at the time, and we finally settled on a concept. And Patient Zero is just like, it's the first song on the album. It's the intro to the album. It is about an original patient for an experiment that was. I really don't want to give too much away, but essentially, the album premise sits around a large experiment that was going on where he is the original patient.
So where did you get the picture from as the cover art?
Dan
Dan Bolger.
And Bulger.
Very good friend of ours. Shout out Danny B. I love you.
He's a cinematographer and a photographer.
Do you know what specific spot it was, or?
That picture was taken in Building 7 of Kings Park.
That's what I thought. Some of the lyrics that caught my eye in that song were the following. Panicked you search for the high ground, unknowingly stirring the creatures therein.
For a large portion of the song, Patient Zero is running from a government organization. So he's trying to escape and get away from them, but he actually doesn't really know what he's running from at that point.
I think you guys just turned the whole like Stranger Things on us.
I was about to say, while you were talking, I was going to be like, you ever watch Stranger Things?
Yeah,
Just wait.
it's. I think it's more convoluted than that, actually.
Oh, it is. You're crazy, Connor.
Yeah.
He wants to make a movie.
You
Make
guys
a movie. Anybody who wants to fund a More Myself to Kill movie, please contact
go
us.
to your GoFundMe starting up now. Go to it.
I'll make
So-
a page.
So you guys are a very technical band. So what is that songwriting process like for you guys? Because it can't be just jam out. It has to be piece by piece. I can't think of how you guys do it.
It's a mixture of both. We kind of like come to the table with a bunch of different things. Kyle will be like, "Oh, I have this riff here," and then I'll hear that, and then that'll make me think of something else, and then he's like, "Oh, and then I got this." So then it's just a matter of like taking all those things that we've written and kind of piecing them together, and maybe speeding some things up, slowing some down, so that they all are uniform and fit together. And then we kind of lay out the music format and then assign lyrics to everything last.
And we kind of just like jam it out, see what feels right.
And we all write
Change parts,
vocals together.
And we yell at Joe a lot.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Work on your drumming, dude.
Yeah, come on. Really
Come
bad.
on, dude.
Oh, you don't even know Kyle. You don't know what I go through at band practice. It's bad.
So what were some goals going into this record, especially since this is your second release and you're still trying to find your sound and experiment with new stuff?
One thing that I really, wanted to accomplish with this was just get that drive that, we need to make this the best we can possibly make it, because I feel like with Challenger Deep, it wasn't necessarily we didn't have a good drive, it was just things took way longer than they should have. And we all kind of took that, stepped it up, put out, the money, the time, the effort to really get where we are right now.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with this album is we really wanted to do something different. We tried to incorporate a lot of sounds that aren't typically used in metal at all.
Noise in general.
Yeah, lots of like noise and ambient parts that aren't really typical for more mainstream kind of music.
And just really pushing ourselves musically, and
A lot of hard
technically,
riffs.
So many hard riffs.
It was
So,
a
okay.
process learning everything on drums. It was ridiculous.
So talking about that, what were the hardest parts of making this record?
the drums.
I mean, I think that's just you.
Yeah,
That's you
probably,
probably
yeah.
being the
It
second
is.
drummer. Yeah.
It's amazing.
12
According
hours
to
of
the-
Joe.
Yeah, it took me 12 hours.
This
but
guy doesn't know a paradiddle from a pair of jeans.
I didn't tell you. Right, left, right. What's up?
My hardest thing that I had to deal with was learning how to scream in time signatures that I've never screamed in before, or even sang or spoken, and I don't know any of that because I'm not a musical major. I'm not,
The 3 out of 4 of us are music educators.
yeah.
Jake's
Come on,
just chilling.
figure it out.
Teach vocals.
Hire me at Guitar Center.
I will.
All right, let's go.
Talk to Kristen. Shout out Kristen Fritz Love.
So, on this new record, how did you go about trying to brand and market it? It's going to be coming out sometime next year, so do you have any certain plans with designs or trying to get out there to like certain companies or promoting
We have
companies?
a list. We wrote our list.
We did.
2 weeks ago at band practice.
We
3
did
weeks ago?
spend some time. We made a list, like adults.
Just trying to organize everything so we can follow everything in like a certain schedule that it all makes sense. We don't rush. We don't take too long.
Yeah,
we wanna
we
make sure that everything is just right.
we have a lot in place as far as like there's text that goes along with the CD. So there's got to be a booklet. We need art for the booklet. We need to get all that set in stone still. So we're still working on all that
It's a
stuff.
process, but it's going to be worth it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm excited about it.
So again, talking about kind of like your experimental nature, what is the demoing process like for this record?
I mean,
A lot of phone recordings.
Yeah,
a lot of phone
Going to
recordings.
Kyle's house using his, what do you have, like
Yeah.
a Blue Yeti?
A lot of
Oh no, that's your
No.
girlfriend. That's Blue Yeti.
Yeah.
I mean, just recording with me at my house, just writing riffs, just
Fruity Loops.
programming drums. Yeah.
and a lot of secret code names.
Oh yeah,
You guys don't even know.
the nonsense names that we've given these songs.
I don't even
Working
know any
titles.
of the song names, to be honest. I know Patient Zero, and I'm not going to say the other one, but you know what I'm talking about.
The one that we've already played live several times.
Yes.
Have we ever said the name of it live?
No,
Yeah,
I don't
Maybe.
think so.
Just
3XFP.
as the random names, probably.
3XFP.
With peanut butter.
It's in the game.
Yeah, it's in the
I don't think you could say that.
So, with this record, are you guys just producing it by yourselves, or are you working with mixer and producer?
We're working with Frank Bones. He's
Solid.
He's at Voodoo right now. We did half guitars and bass at what was that? Full Force, which is
Force
right next to our
Studios.
practice space, so it was just convenient. And then he moved to Voodoo, and it's just been Voodoo since.
It's such a nice place.
My drums sound so
Super shout out to Voodoo and Frank Bones. Frank Bones is the
good.
man.
Shout out Frankie B.
He really does great things for musicians.
Yeah, he does a lot of the local albums and
He did Suffocation.
just everything.
Yeah.
He did, no, he didn't do. I'm talking about the Deer Hunter. They were recorded at Voodoo. Off topic, but
So, before we kind of end it, how about you guys just share some, like, what people should expect in the future for More of Myself to Kill? And when should we expect this record, shows coming up, all that fun stuff?
we're playing December 1st for Lucid Dreams EP release show. Necropia's playing. Skepsis, us, and
The Lysine
our
Contingency.
baby boys in the Lysine Contingency. Saturday, December 1st. Should be there.
AMH.
AMH, yeah.
Yeah, and for the album overall, just a lot of craziness in the time that it is.
And like I said before, a lot of noise.
Be prepared.
Yeah, I think
Just be ready.
between this album and the next album, we're really gonna find our sound, and it's gonna be weird, and I'm excited about
Go
it.
to the bathroom before you see us.
Before
what
the
I'm saying.
EP release.
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
definitely.
It's an album. Right?
We know
It's
for
an
the,
album.
the,
Get it
uh,
right.
in the-
Oh, yeah. Before in Lucid Dreams, make sure you go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom before every band set.
That way you can watch the whole set.
So, how about you guys just share where people can keep up to date with you and find your music?
Facebook, you just type in More of Myself to Kill. Our Twitter is at momtk_li, and then our Instagram is at More of Myself to Kill _li.
And make sure if you search up on Google, put band and NY, because you'll just get all different versions of Between the Buried and Me song.
Yes. Don't type in just more of Myself to Kill. Actually, if you type it in, I think we're the third link, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
What's up, Tommy Rogers?
All right, well, everyone, stay tuned for the rest of the show. Welcome back. You're listening to WSB Stony Brook. That song you just heard was "With Surging Tides" by In Lucid Dreams. I am joined by the band right now. How about you guys introduce yourselves and tell us a bit about the band?
I'm Mickey. I play bass in Lucid Dreams.
I'm Joe. I play drums in Lucid Dreams.
I'm Nick. I do vocals.
I'm DJ. I play guitar.
So let's just start off giving people a quick bio of the band and kind of a quick history for people that may not know you.
That'd be on one of you guys.
Well,
Been in the band the whole time.
That's on you, Joe.
me and DJ started the band around 2015, kind of just as like a side project kind of thing. Now we've been joined by Mickey back in 2017 and Nick in 2018.
You guys kind of like fluctuating with members, didn't you? You kind of had this like weird rotation, then kind of finalized last year with the addition of new vocalist.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, we've definitely had a bunch of lineup changes. It's been really crazy because it's really hard finding members who are really committed.
So was it like finally being kind of like a whole piece and finding kind of like the right pieces to that puzzle?
Calming. Feels good.
So I just played the latest single from you guys called Surging Tides. How about you give us a little background info on that song?
The DJ, you and Christian wrote it, right? The guitar?
Yeah. I mean, do you want to talk about the actual...
Either the meaning of the song or just how it came up in the studio, just making it.
Creating it was kind of cool. Before this band, I was in a band, Palmyra, and I still keep in touch with the guys. And a close friend of mine, Christian Rodriguez. Me and him were hanging out in my room, just chilling and writing riffs, and he was showing me a few riffs. We were just bouncing back and forth, and
It just came together.
yeah, it came together. It was pretty cool.
So you guys made a music video, as I mentioned, and it was directed by Tom Flynn. So what was it like working with him, and where did you guys film the whole thing?
That was awesome. We did that at Robert Moses, right? Pretty close over there, like capturing.
Oak Beach.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. So yeah, we were over there. At first, we had planned a spot in mind, and it was a parking lot that had a really cool back view of the water. We went there, and well, first thing that happened was I locked the keys in the car with my bass and DJ's guitar. We were like, wow, that's great. My dad had to come bail me out, brought my spare keys. Then people were like coming in and out the parking spot. We found a spot eventually, and he did an awesome job with the video. I'm so happy with it. I think we all are, so.
Yeah.
So you guys finally played your first show in a while at Riffstock, I believe, and it was a comeback show. So what's it like finally going back on stage and performing?
It's great. I love playing on stage, and especially Revolution. It's a great venue on Long Island. They always have a good killer sound there, and it's just glad to be back. Glad to be killing it again.
So you guys are having a new record come out on December 1st called Humanity and Closure. How long did it take you to write and create this record?
Well, we started recording back in November of 2017, and we actually flew down to Wisconsin in order to initially start the recording with another vocalist, and things just didn't work out the way we wanted them to. We came back, we said, let's sit down, and instead of recording an EP, let's record a full-length album. So after we found Nick, started writing, by around April, all the songs had been written and recorded, and we just needed to lay down vocals. Got the vocals done around June, and we've just been sitting on the finished product since then.
So what went into kind of promoting this record and kind of branding yourselves around it?
We've been hiring PR and trying to do everything right, trying to do all the social media boosting that we possibly can, but that doesn't work. It really doesn't work.
You just really need to just get out there and push yourselves to the public, really. And
Yeah.
you're going to be doing that soon with that December 1st show with the EP release. So do you guys have any other shows planned in the future?
Well, we've been working with somebody named James McHenry. He's going to be helping us do a lot of short weekend runs, and we'll be hopefully get our name out there to the East Coast.
So, like we were mentioning before, with kind of like the finalizing of the lineup, how has like the music shifted with the lineup? Because as compared from like the earlier days, you can definitely tell kind of like the difference in sound and production and quality.
Yeah, the first EP that we wrote with our good friend Mako was definitely a lot more. We felt like it was a little bit very energetic, but it was very DIY. It was recorded everything ourselves. We never had any experience recording or programming drums or recording guitar, anything before that. So it was really just kind of a learning process. And now with this record, we still recorded everything ourselves, but we sent it out to somebody to get mixed and mastered. And so we definitely finalized the product a lot more. Just made it sound a lot more professional.
Adam Bentley.
Yeah, Adam Bentley.
He's awesome.
So what's it like working with him?
Oh, it was great.
Yeah,
He
Adam,
didn't give us a number of revisions. Like, he was always available. Like, if we ever were like, oh no, can you go back to this part? He had no problem. His mixes are incredible too.
So, did any of you guys have any difficulties playing a part? Was most of the record easy to play? I don't know. Or just like kind of a steady process and you had no speed bumps?
Well, as far as playing, it's really in order to get a song into like muscle memory, you have to just play it over and over again. And as with any recording in modern day technology, you have as many tracks as you want in order to lay down a part, and you're not limited to trying to do it in one take. So really, our process is write the song, then record the song, then learn the song.
So, what should people expect out of this record? If people listen to certain genre, like certain bands, let me rephrase that question. So, what should people expect out of this record? What influence will they hear that they'll enjoy?
It definitely has like a metalcore, death metal-y influence on it, but it's a lot more positive than a lot of heavy music out there. So I think they'll be into something a lot more positive and uplifting.
That's
So-
mostly because of your lyrics, though.
Yeah.
So, what's your process in writing these positive lyrics?
It's just who I am, man. Like, I try to be a very like positive person, and I try not to let negativity like, not that there's anything wrong with letting negativity out, but I want to be like a positive influence, and I want people to feel good after listening to our band.
So, how about you guys share the details about the release show coming up?
Has a lot of our friends on the show, which is great. We have Necropia, the Lysine Contingency, Skepsis,
Myself.
and More Myself to Kill. Yeah.
Oh yeah, More
So
Myself.
it's pretty much
All
the
good friends
bands
of
that were
ours.
here today, which is cool.
And why should they come out to the show?
It's gonna be a sick show.
It's gonna be sick, man.
It's just
Yeah,
cool.
it's gonna be our second show back with our second show with Nick as well. So that's gonna be really fun. Getting a whole light show together too with it, so that's gonna be interesting.
How have you guys been preparing to play all the new stuff live?
just practicing
practice.
with a click. Like,
Oh yeah.
Practicing a lot.
Yeah,
like,
in-ear monitors help tremendously.
practicing a lot.
All right, so how about you guys just share where people can keep up to date with you and find your music?
In luciddreamsband.com, I have just created a website so you could have a link to all of our socials, our latest YouTube videos, our latest Spotify and SoundCloud links, so you can just find all of our social media there. But we're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, everything.
Well, thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully, once the record out, we can talk a bit more in depth about it. But we gotta promote that EP release show. That record's gonna be amazing, especially with the singles that were released so far. Again, the new single that we played before is going to be released tomorrow on YouTube. When should people expect it to be up?
11 a.m.
11 a.m.
On Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube.
It'll be streamed on YouTube at 11 a.m., right?
Yeah.
All right, well, everyone stay tuned with an interview with Necropia. Welcome back. You're listening to WSB Stony Brook. The song that you just heard was The Revelation by In Lucid Dreams. They were just on before. I also had More of Myself to Kill and Perimeter. So make sure to check all those bands out on their social media and Spotify because they're all awesome local Long Island musicians. I got another awesome Long Island musician right now. He's one of the members from Necropia.
Yes.
Necropia.
Yeah.
I'm always going to keep messing that up somehow.
No, it's good. We've had some crazy pronunciations of that.
So, how about you introduce yourself and give a quick history of the band?
What's up? I'm Tamim from Necropia. I only joined like about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago now. I lose track of time all the time. But before me, there were several other members of the band. The main dude, John, our guitarist, he couldn't be here, but he's written everything from the beginning. Like, we had the first EP. None of the members that were on that EP are currently in the band besides John.
So how did you get involved with the band and kind of like get the spot as the vocalist?
You know what? I was always a fan of them. I always liked the kind of music that they played for years and years, and I even offered to track their second EP, but they had a dope vocalist, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna back up. But yeah, I just liked the music, so we were just talking about it, and
it just happened.
Yeah, it just happened. They weren't too happy with the way that everything sounded at the time, and I was like, you know what, I'll hop in. My band's not doing much.
So, what musical projects did you do before?
I was in a deathcore band. I did a couple metalcore acts too. If anyone remembers Inside the Cypher, I did that for a little bit, a few years. I was in post-hardcore acts and stuff. Now my main thing is just... now I'm just straight up doing this death metal stuff in Necropia. It's awesome.
So, you kind of went into the transition of, per se, Necropia 1.0 to 2.0. So, what was it like, kind of like reforming that band? Because you were mentioning before how not like the original, just one of the original members was left. Yeah.
You know, it was really cool because like John took the forefront in moving the band forward. The transition was pretty, from what I can tell, it was pretty smooth. I can't tell from his perspective, but we all kind of clicked when we all got into a room together. We were all able to play the music that he had written in the past, and as well as writing new music too, together.
So going off of that, so how fast did you guys actually start writing once you joined the band?
Oh man, he must have showed me the new a couple of the new tracks that he was working on maybe a few months into it. So real quick, I joined and we were already on the run to making new stuff.
So you've been around in the scene for many years. Necropia's been around for like 7 years now. But how have you seen kind of like the Long Island metal scene change through the years?
People come and go. There's some familiar faces that have always been around, but you know, you see change. You see those kind of changes happening. Some people stop coming to shows. Some people start going to shows. All of a sudden, this genre's hype when this genre wasn't hype. all of a sudden people like this kind of breakdown. Nobody likes two steps one day. People love two steps the other day. That's how I feel. Like it in general, I feel like I don't know how to answer that. In general, I feel like the music scene has gone from
just kind of like this consistency to this kind of variable.
It's just so different, you know. It's just one day someone likes this, another day someone likes this. That's why we like to just do everything. We're like, you know what, do a little bit of everything for everyone to like.
Yeah, I can definitely tell that's how you kind of adjusted to the changing market. So, about a year ago, during summer, you guys played the Summer Slaughter Tour at Green Mercy Theater. So, was it like playing kind of that huge of tour?
Wow, that was incredible.
Because there's like 20 or so artists playing. Well, like 12, I should say.
They put us like right in between Oceano and some was it Oceano and I don't know. I ran out after my set. I was so tired, but came back in a little later. It was awesome. It was awesome meeting those people. Like I met Trevor from the Black Dahlia Murder, one of my biggest influences. It was great seeing those kind of musicians
and kind of
doing
playing on that level too.
Oh yeah.
Because Grey Mercy is a pretty big venue, and how was the crowd that night?
Oh, it was incredible. You know, it started off because Oceano was playing right before us, like upstairs. So our set started, I looked out into the room and I was like, yo, there's not a lot of people here. There's like maybe like 50, 60 people in here, but this is a big room. And then, like, maybe second song in, I started to notice, like, oh, here comes Oceano's crowd. And they filled up the room, and I was like, oh my God. It's like, I love this.
So, talking about playing with these notable names in the metal scene, you guys also played other shows with, like, The Faceless, you had Dying Fetus, you had Slaughter to Prevail. Did you take anything away from these artists, whether it's how they perform on stage, or whether it's how they market their band, or anything?
I do take a lot of influence from every vocalist that I see live. I like to see what they do. I like to take away things. Oh man, playing with Slaughter to Prevail, that was a fun one. They actually didn't have their guitarist that day, and I saw the way that they were able to make everything still work, backing tracks, and the stage presence was still just incredible. Actually, one of my favorite shows wasn't even one of those bigger ones. It was a little hallway show that we played with So This Is Suffering, where that was just incredible. They also played with only one guitarist, and they just set the room off. It was so I guess like what I take away from that is just, you know, just be hype. Like
give that energy.
Just give that energy no matter what. You're missing a member, you're not feeling too well that day. Just give it 100% every time.
So, what are some current artists that you take inspiration from, whether vocally and musically?
Oh man, I love the energy of these new rappers. I'm not gonna lie. If you see them on stage, they are rock stars.
That's fair enough, because trap is implementing a lot into kind of like death metal and metal genre today, with like bands like Victims, even like the local band Zume out in Brooklyn.
I know Zume.
They're just implementing a whole bunch of trap elements to their music, and it's just working out well.
It sounds awesome in my opinion. And then on the other side, you got rappers doing stuff with metal influence. So yeah, I think that's awesome, but I love their energy. I guess like some more metal musicians that I take influence from, especially nowadays, it's always been Trevor Strand from the Black Dahlia Murder. Like from day one, I've loved the way that guy sounded. From day one, I've loved the way Corey Taylor from Slipknot sounded. You know,
I still have to listen to the new single. It came out yesterday.
Oh my god! You know what? It's dope. It's definitely dope. But I feel like there's gonna be better songs. Like there's some riffs in there where you're gonna be like, oh wow, that's Iowa, or that's some Volume 3 stuff. But you know what? I'm gonna wait for the rest of the album. The video was really, really cool though.
Yeah, they always put out really cool music videos.
Oh wow. I mean, like, yeah. It was a dope one for sure.
So before we talk about your latest record, what are some pet peeves that you have in the death metal genre? What are some things that are probably like overdone that you can't take, or anything really?
You know, I guess my main pet peeve is people that are like closed-minded, that they can't hear they can't hear certain things, like maybe like clean singing and stuff like that. And
It's like,
and
no
enjoy
clean
it.
singing.
I mean, like
It's
at the same time, I don't think Necropia is ever going to implement any real clean singing, but I don't like when people are closed-minded to those things, because they miss out on a lot of music. And that's like one of the main things in the death metal scene that I've noticed. Not a lot of people will like a band, let's say, if they have breakdowns or they have like a gent riff or something like that, you know?
Yeah, you can definitely just brings a whole like another conversation, kind of like the metal elitists and like all of that.
No.
And just, yeah.
I mean, like, at the same time, our music would fit under a lot of metal elitist stuff, but we don't feel that way. Or at least I don't. I'm not sure about everyone. I don't want to talk for everyone here.
Alright, so you guys released back in, I believe, April, a record called Desecration Complex.
Yes,
so
DC.
Let's first start out with the name. Why did you guys go with that to represent the album?
You know, I was just describing the songs to one of my friends, right? Oh, excuse me. So I was describing the songs to one of my friends. I was saying, like, this one's horror movie themed, this one's a little more personal, and it's like, I feel like, I told him, I was like, you know, I feel like, these songs are, like, have a lot to do with, like, desecration and stuff, and I was like, I need some help titling this, and he stops, he laughs, and he's just like, huh, just call it Desecration Complex.
It's like, okay.
And I stopped for a second, and I was like, yo, that is a really cool name, dude.
And just went with it.
I posted it on our group chat, and I was like, yo, guys, how do you feel about this name? And everyone was like, thumbs up, yeah, let's do that. And I was like, wow. I told my friend, I was like, yo, I've been trying to figure out a name for this album for months, and you figured it out in 2 seconds.
So, with that, what went into getting the cover art done? I know you got it done by someone, I forgot the name.
Maxwell Aston.
Yes, that was it.
He is amazing to work with. Like, he did our logo too. Yeah, the newest logo on there. We worked with him for maybe like 6 months on that album cover, every single day, going back and forth, getting new versions of it, just small little details. I believe he digitally painted the whole thing, which is just incredible. No stock images or anything, like. And the amount of work, the amount of hours he put into the project, because not only did he do the album art and like a logo, but he also like did our merch page. He made a bunch of graphics for our Facebook page, our website, and everything. Yeah, I highly recommended artist Maxwell Aston.
What is the writing process for the band, especially on this record where it wasn't an EP, it was a full length? So did you take any different approaches to it?
Well, considering I wasn't around for the other albums, I'm not really sure what the approach was. I know that they recorded the first one over at Westfall. I know the second one was recorded by John, actually, our guitarist. But then the vocals were done at Westfall. This third one, you know what? This third one was recorded all at John's studio, at his place. What was the question again?
Just, what is the writing process?
The writing process
for you guys.
Basically, John will have like a nice little stem of a song. Like, it'll just be like guitar track, drums, second guitar track, and he'll be like, hey, what do you guys think of this? And we'll be like, oh, we like that, and that. And then, you know, we'll just collaborate, throw ideas around. Steve and Pete, the bassist and guitarist respectively, they'll throw in some stuff, you know. There might be like some part where he's like, oh, look, we could put a bass lead here, or we could put a guitar solo here. And then I just layer everything on top of that.
So what's your process in adding in the vocals?
Oh, you know what? I like to sit there and like listen to it repeatedly, like maybe like in my car or somewhere that like there's like a decent speaker system. Then I go inside, I chill out, and I put on I turn off all media and I just sit there and write, just straight from my own mind. Sometimes I'll take out my phone for a thesaurus, but that's if you read my lyrics, you'll understand.
Gotta add that Verity, you know, you just go like type in just synonyms of different words.
I have to, you know, what if I need 3 syllables instead of 1 or 2, you know?
I think you can go in like rhyme zone, just, you know, type in a word, it'll give you like 2-syllable rhymes, 3-syllable
I'm not gonna lie, I've had to use rhyme zone before.
So, what went into the promotion of this record? Because you guys ended up getting on Metal Sucks, and it ended up doing really well.
Yeah, you know what? We were able to get our stuff through Metal Sucks, and we were afraid because you know how they speak about bands, like especially bands that can be considered deathcore.
Yeah.
So we were waiting for them to like to put out that article or whatever. We were sitting there like, oh my god, they better not trash us. Oh my god. And then all the stuff dropped from them, and wow, like they were actually cool with it. They actually liked it. I found that amazing. Metal Sucks doesn't like anything.
For one German,
I was flabbergasted. Yeah, I was flabbergasted when I woke up and read that.
So from that, how was like the fan input to the new stuff?
From what I've heard, everyone really enjoys the switch over from Creation of Sin to Desecration Complex. Like, so far, everyone's loved the way my vocals fit over their music. That's one thing I was afraid of because, you know, they've had 2 vocalists prior to me. How was I going to fit in compared to the other guys? It's been received very well.
So was
especially
that,
from all the
did
fans.
you have like any stress towards that? Kind of try and make it your own thing? Trying to like stand out from the older 2 vocalists?
I just kind of did my own thing. I just kind of like hopped on there and I was like, you know what? I've been doing this for a little bit. I can do this.
Because then we'll have like another like kind of like Dance Gavin Dance situation where people will compare.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Tillian era, we got
the Johnny Kurt era. Oh my!
All right, so
little Andrew Wells in there.
So we're kind of running out of time. How about you just share where people can keep up to date with Necropia and where people can find your music?
All right, so you can find us on. You can find a new album on Spotify, Necropia Desecration Complex. You can find us on Facebook, Necropia Band, facebook.necropia.com/Necropia Band. I really hope that's the one. Necropia.bandcamp, Necropia.big cartel. Buy our stuff. We got stuff.
Yes. Also, you guys are playing December 1st at AMH with Lucid Dreams.
Yes, with Lucid Dreams. Yeah, great friends of ours.
And before we end, how about you just share why people should come out to that show?
Oh, well, why wouldn't you come to the show? I mean, like, some of the best locals, progressive, deathcore, metalcore, is just, if you want to hear what the island has to offer when it comes to heavy music and hyped up kind of music, you're going to come to the show. That's all I got to say about that.
All right, well, that's it for today's show. Make sure to tune in 2 weeks from now for the next one. But before I get off, make sure to go to www.wsb.fm and check out all the different programming on the station. There's a whole bunch of different types of shows, from talk shows to blues to rock to metal, pretty much everything. So you can find something else you enjoy. Also, go to www.facebook.com/The Spectrum Show to keep up to date with this show when I'm on air, as well as stuff I post from other local artists, so you can discover new music there. Also, right now is WSB's in the middle of radiothon, so we're raising money to help the station keep running. We only get a certain amount of money from USG, so we need the help of you, the listeners, to keep the content going and bring that content that you enjoy to the airwaves. So if you're interested in donating, go to www.wsb.fm and just click on the pledge form.